Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. I wish you all a very happy and prosperous new year. So in today's video we are going to talk about Qatar Airways as they're coming to India for the recruitment drive on the 7th of January in Mumbai. So if you're planning to go for the Qatar Airways interview, please don't skip the video, watch it till the end. So guys, I've divided this video into 3 parts. The first part is the requirements by the airlines. The second part is what goes on behind the recruitment process, that is the stages of the recruitment process. And the third point is my recommendations which you should keep in mind when you go for the interview. So we'll start with requirements first. The requirements of Qatar Airways is that you should be 21 years of age. You should be able to reach 212 centimeters on your tiptoes. You should be a high school graduate willing to relocate to Doha as the base for Qatar Airways cabin crew is in Doha, and also that you should be fluent in English, that is spoken and written. We jump into the second part, that is the stages of the interview process. So Qatar Airways has 2 ways where they hire. One is by invitation only, and one is where they conduct an open day and an assessment day the following day. So on the open day, all you have to do is appear at the interview center and submit your CV. They are going to look through your CV and then they are going to maybe ask you a few questions, or they can even ask you to do the arm reach test, which is 212 centimeters on your tiptoes. So after you're done with your arm reach test, they're going to give you an invitation letter wherein the date, the time and the venue of the assessment day will be mentioned, and they will ask you to keep it discreet and not discuss it with the other candidates outside, because at times they do not give the other candidates the invitation letter, but they do send an email or a text message where they invite the candidate for the next day. So make sure that you reach the venue well before time, because through my experience I can tell you that there are thousands and thousands of people trying to get into Qatar Airways, and why not, it's a 5-star airline paying very well and everyone wants to be a part of a great airline, right? So you have to be way before time. For example, if the interview is scheduled at 8 o'clock in the morning, make sure that you reach there at least by 6:30. I assure you there will be candidates who will be there already queuing up for the registration. So make sure that you are well before time at the venue. Also make sure that you have groomed yourself really well and you carry your makeup, girls. Keep that in mind. You always have to carry your makeup if you're going for an interview, because it's gonna be a long day and you will require to touch up your makeup. So please reach before time, well groomed. Try to avoid getting ready in the washroom of the hotel because it's really jam-packed, and it's not a great thing just before your interview to be trying to get your space to get ready. So I would suggest that you get ready at home and then reach the venue. Carry some snacks with you because you're going to feel hungry. And then when you prepare your CV the previous day, make sure that all the requirements which is listed in the Qatar Airways website, that is your age, your address, your phone number, your educational qualifications and also your communication skills, all the important points that the airline is looking for is mentioned on your CV, preferably on the first page. Because when you enter the interview room, there'll either be 1 or 2 HRs sitting there. They do not give you more than 30 to 40 seconds for you to speak. So your first impression is literally the last impression you have on them. So make sure that your CV is great and it has a great photograph on it. You can also attach, they'll usually tell you to attach your passport, your full length formal photograph and a passport size photograph on your CV. Make sure you've done that already, and also be thorough with whatever is mentioned on your CV, because the questions are either based on whatever is mentioned on your CV or they ask you some other questions, which I will discuss towards the end of the video, so stay tuned. So if you have made the first round and you clear it, they will give you an invitation letter for the next day, which is the assessment day. So we move on to the next part, which is the assessment day. On the assessment day, there will be around 50 to 60 candidates who will be invited, and the first round is an English round. There will be basic English grammar questions and some comprehensive type questions, and also some mathematical questions which are not that difficult. It's quite easy, I can tell you through my experience. So once you finish with the English round, they will do a skin and scar check. So they are going to check your skin, if you have any scars in your arms, and they will also ask you to declare your tattoo. Now I would like to tell you blatantly that Qatar Airways does not allow tattoos at all. No matter if it's not visible, even when you wear the uniform, Qatar Airways does not allow tattoos. So make sure if you're going for the interview, you do not have a tattoo or you're in the process of removing the tattoo. In the medical examination, they'll make sure you don't have tattoos at all. So after the skin and scar test, they are going to do an arm reach test again. They will ask you to remove your shoes and do the arm reach test, which is 212 centimeters on your tiptoe. You should be reaching with your arm, standing on your tiptoes. Stretch as much as you can, just make sure you meet the mark. And then the next round is going to be a personal round, where the HR is going to call each candidate one by one to a room and ask you a few questions. And after that, the last round is the group discussion round. They'll be dividing you into 5 or 6 people, and they'll give you a topic and ask you to speak on it as a group. So after you're done with the group discussion round, they usually tell you all about Qatar Airways and the motto of the company and all their achievements in the past years. They also discuss their salary and the further process. So they will ask you to wait for a week or so, and they mail you asking you to go for the medical examinations and also to share some pictures. So I wish you all the best. And now I'm going to share with you the recommendations that I have for you to keep in mind when you're preparing yourself to attend for the interview. Recommendation number 1, reach the venue way before time. It's always better to reach your interview venue way before time. Sit there, relax, and prepare your mind to face the HR. Also, you could gather some experience from the other candidates who are there and ask them if they have applied before. There will be some experienced crew as well trying to get into Qatar Airways. You could talk to them and gain some experience from them as well. Recommendation number 2, prepare your CV really well. Make sure that your CV stands out, because that's where they are going to ask you questions from mostly. Recommendation number 3, make sure that you do not have a tattoo when you're going for the interview. I am not discouraging anyone who has a tattoo going for the interview. I'm just letting a disclaimer out so that you're prepared to remove your tattoo if you're getting selected for Qatar Airways. So keep that in mind. And recommendation number 4, there are few questions I can help you to prepare with. One of the most commonly asked questions by the HR is, why do you want to be a cabin crew? Why Qatar Airways? So if you have a gap in your CV, they are going to ask you this question for sure. That is, what are you doing now? And they also may ask you, what do you know about Qatar? What do you know about Qatar Airways? So make sure you prepare these common questions when you go for your interview, so that when they ask you these questions, you do not blank out, you have an answer ready. If not all the points, at least you will have a summarized answer and you could express yourself well. So guys, this was all for today's video. I have a part 2 as well, where I'll discuss all the grooming guidelines for the males and the females. So please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit on the bell notification so you get notified when I upload that video. Till then, prepare well, spread love, peace, and bye bye.